Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make the most OP gold farm and probably the most important farm in the game in my opinion. Now this farm produces emeralds, it produces gold, it produces experience, it has everything you could ever want. It even produces a little bit of iron ingots. Now it doesn't produce too much iron, but it does produce a little bit. And it's definitely a very nice passive income of iron ingots. Now to get the emeralds out of this farm, it's going to require a little bit of manual labor. Once all the items go through the hoppers, go through the item sorter, you're going to want to go down there, grab all the rotten flesh and gold. You're going to want to turn the gold nuggets into gold ingots so you can trade those with the villagers. And because of the zombie spawner above, all the trades are going to be reduced drastically. You're going to be selling 1 gold for 1 emerald. It is fantastic. Right now I'm just showing you every part of the farm. This is the item sorter and the item disposal system. This is where all the items we don't want get thrown out and burned in lava, aka the gold armor, the gold swords, the leather armor, all that stuff. Now up here we have the on and off switch that is powered by this dispenser, and on the other side there's actually some lava igniting the portal. These are all the items you will need. Probably pause right now just to get a good look at it. Then we'll get right into the build, alright? Now it is essential to find yourself a zombie spawner. That's what's gonna give you all the fantastic trades from all the villagers. It's gonna give you the 1 gold for 1 emerald. So what you're gonna want to do is build a roof 3 blocks above the zombie spawner, and then a floor 4 blocks beneath the zombie spawner. And then you're gonna want to build a 9x9 square beneath the zombie spawner. Once that is done, you're going to want to go up 1 block and build a wall around the whole mob spawner. This is making, right now we're making an OG mob spawner. We're just going to funnel all of the zombies into one spot and then end up killing them with the zombie piglins. So you just want to build this up real quick. It's going to be 6 blocks tall. And then you're going to want to build the roof after that. And when you're done the roof, you're going to want to come into the zombie chamber with the mob spawner. You're going to want to place a bunch of buckets of water on one side of your chamber. Each bucket of water will flow for 8 blocks. And once you've reached the end of that flowing water, you're going to want to build down a little bit. This is where we're going to make the funnel. You're going to want to make another little cubby for another bucket of water to go. To have the zombies flow through another source of water into one 2x2 area. Well, for the zombies, it's gonna be a 2x2 because we want to make our trident killer at the bottom of this to have that automatically kill the zombies for you. All right, you can follow exactly how I do it, or the other method, which I prefer, is get creative with it. You don't necessarily have to build everything exactly how I build it, but if you'd like to follow block by block, maybe slow down the video a bit and follow my block by block demonstration. But once you've determined where you're going to have your 2x2 hole, you're going to want to place a couple of signs to block the flowing water, and then we're just gonna build the rest of this tunnel. It's going to be 2x2. Because of the trident killer, like I mentioned earlier. So you're going to want to build down 7 blocks, and then this is where your trident killer is going to be. And this is where you're also going to be AFKing. Once your funnel is fully complete, you're going to want to grab your pistons and observers and build this how I build it. You're going to have an observer looking out from the piston, and then one looking in, and then out, and then in, out, in, until you complete the circle. Once that is done, we're going to cover it up. Make sure no mobs can get out. Then you want to grab a couple of tridents and throw them at the furthest right piston. And then you're going to want to turn it off and then turn it back on, and it shall endlessly loop those 2 tridents around, killing whatever may land on those blocks. Now moving on to the item sorter. This, you don't necessarily need this in your build, but I find it very helpful. It throws out all the trash. You could keep everything. You could keep the gold armor, you could keep the gold swords and smelt them all down. I just don't think it's worth it because of how fast this farm fills up chests. I say just throw them all out. They're not worth it. So what you're going to want to do is build a little hopper chain that'll lead from the kill chamber all the way to the item disposal unit, which is going to be our bucket of lava underneath a dispenser. Once you have made your hopper chain, you can go in whichever direction you'd like. You're going to want to go down a certain number of blocks. It doesn't have to be the same amount of blocks I chose. You can go down however many blocks you want. You can have as many chests as you want. I'm just going to go down 4 chests in this demonstration. I think that's plenty of chests. As long as you're constantly checking the chests and emptying out the chests and selling the rotten flesh and the gold, I think this is more than enough. But if you're gonna leave this overnight for many nights, leave it going for days on end, you may need a few more chests. But for me, this will do, and for the demonstration purposes, this is more than enough. Once you've placed up all your chests, we're just going to want to cover everything. You could leave it uncovered if you want. Again, everything is up to your discretion. Build whatever you want. Build it however you want. I like to put a few item frames above the items just so I know what's what. Even though I technically do know what's what, I like to see it visually. I think it adds a very nice touch. And for this design, we're going to build a ladder straight to it. You could build a staircase. Again, do what feels natural. Do what will fit in your world. Do it. Just be as creative as you want. Do what you want. I'm just showing one possible way to have this farm set up and have every piece of that farm set up. As long as you have each key item, you should be set and ready to go with infinite emeralds, infinite gold, infinite XP. I love this farm. Now we're going to move on to the item disposal unit, the trash chute, whatever you want to call it. This is where all the garbage items that we don't want will go. So you're going to want to have a dispenser aim down into a bucket of lava. Make sure to encase that bucket in lava into blocks. It can be glass, it can be a block of your choice. For the redstone behind this, you're going to want to follow what I do. We're going to have a redstone comparator leading out from the dispenser, a redstone repeater beside the comparator leading into the block beside the dispenser, and then 2 pieces of redstone on either side of the repeaters. And you're going to want to make sure to have 1 block beside the comparator. Now we're going to move on to the item sorting. So we're going to want to block items from passing through the second from the top hopper. So we're going to want to lock them. So you're going to want to follow every block placement I do. There are other sorters out there, but I'm just going to use this one. We're going to have comparators leading out from the second from the top hoppers. And if you follow my block placements, you will be looking very nice. We're going to place a bunch of redstone, some repeaters below, and then you're going to want to take 45 items of whatever item you want to be sorted. If you wanted, this farm does produce potatoes and carrots. If you wanted to include potatoes and carrots into this item sorting system, you could. You're just going to have to extend it. But for now, we're just going to collect the gold nuggets, the gold ingots, the rotten flesh, and the iron ingots. So you're going to put 1 in each slot until you get to the first slot. And then you're just going to want to leave at least 41. Now I'm just cleaning up the farm a bit of some blocks you don't really need. But that's not necessary. You can keep them in. All depending on you. Depending on where you're building this. This is a massive build, so this will probably be underground for you. You really don't need to worry about lighting up caves below. This farm produces so much that you should be set. Just building it just underground somewhere. Now, we're going to go on to the Obsidian. The actual gold farm of this build. This is where all the piglins are going to be coming from. You're going to want to build a 23 by 23 nether portal above your zombie spawner, your zombie chamber. This gold farm works because whenever a portal is destroyed and then relit, there's a chance of zombie piglins actually spawning. So we're actually going to use that game mechanic to make a gold farm, to farm all the gold and the rotten flesh and emeralds. You're going to want to make sure you built it right, so you're just going to want to light it. Also, you're going to want to light it after you've made it just so you can see which side the zombie piglins fall down. Once you have figured out what side they fall down, that is the side where you will be making your little funnel system. You will be funneling all the zombie piglin into your already made funnel with the zombie spawner to get all them together, all them together in that 2x2, so you can kill them with the trident killer. Now you're going to want to remember that water sources go 8 blocks. So to complete this funnel system, you're going to want to have 1 water source on each side. That's all that's necessary. And you want to have a couple of signs near the center of it where your 2x2 funnel is to block the water. You'll need to go down at least 1 block on each side because the water sources only can go 8. You're going to need to extend it a little bit by going down 1 block on that 7th block to have 1 constant flow and only having to use 1 source of water, which is very nice per side, obviously. You're going to want to build up a nice wall around the spawning area just so none of them piglins can make it out. Now I don't know if this next part is necessarily a necessity, but I built a roof above the center of it just so it keeps everything nice and dark. And here I am just destroying and relighting the portal just to demonstrate what the farm will do when I make the destroying system and the igniting system. we are going to the on and off switch. Yes, this farm can be turned on and off with the flick of a lever, which I love, because this farm is also very laggy. So what you're going to want to do is go to the bottom left-hand corner of the nether portal. You want to build a little platform for yourself, like I do so in the video. You're going to want to have a dispenser with a bucket of water in it, and then an observer facing it, and then an observer facing away from the observer you just placed, and then a sticky piston that will hold on to that second observer for you. Now you're going to want to build a little redstone torch tower that will lead. This can lead anywhere. You don't necessarily have to have it go to your AFK spot. You can have it up top where the observer is. Again, all dependent on what you want in your build. I just think this is very convenient, having both levers pretty much right beside each other. But if you're going to want to do it like me, you're going to want to follow what I do. You're going to have this redstone tower leading up, and then a bunch of redstone connected to a lever. Depending on how far the redstone will be, you may need a couple of repeaters, but for this design, this works perfectly. Just want to give it a few test runs. That is when it is on. The water will constantly come in and out of the dispenser. And now we're going to learn how to ignite the portal. This will be constantly igniting the portal, and then the dispenser and the observers over there will be constantly destroying the portal, which will cause the zombie piglins to spawn. You're going to want to follow what I do. You're going to want to have one block facing outwards from the portal, and then 5 blocks facing inwards. And once that is done, you're going to want to build its own little cage around it. And you're going to want to make sure to leave one gap in between the observers and the nether portal. This is where you're going to place your trap doors. Once placed, you're going to want to flick them all up and then encase everything except for the very top of the observers. You just want to build a 3-block wall around the observers, and then place a lava bucket in the middle of the observers. We're going to flick it on, give it a test run. Oh, look at that. I sped it up a little bit. But yes, there are zombie piglins flowing into the funnel system, ready to be killed. It's beautiful. Now I just want to demonstrate how everything in the farm works. We have the igniting of the portal, the destroying of the portal, all the zombie piglins being murdered in our kill chamber. We're just going to close it up with a couple of slabs. Again, it could be any block you want. I'm just going to use some quartz slabs in this case. What is this? Get out of here. There we go. There we go. We have a couple of slabs so the zombie piglins do not get through. The on and off switch for the farm, the on and off switch for the kill chamber. When they're both up, that means they're on. Now, we're going to move on to the villager trading hall. This is where you're going to get all the emeralds you could ever need. This, again, can be designed however you want. In this case, I like to make my villagers some beautiful cells. Yes, we don't have to call them cells. Living quarters. But yeah, I like to give them a nice place to live, because they're going to be here for the rest of their lives. You're going to want to do this one at a time, so you're able to make sure the bed and the brewing station link up to the proper villager. Doing this in survival will be a bit of a pain. I would just set up a villager breeder elsewhere and then transport the villagers in whenever you may need them. But you can follow this block by block if you like my design, or you can make your own. You can make one with more clerics. You can make some with less if you want. But for this demonstration, I'm just gonna have 6, and then I'm just gonna light it up so no mobs spawn in there, and encase everything so I don't die while AFKing. Once all of that done, there's one more thing you will need to make this farm even better than it currently is. You're going to want to get a sword, get a looting 3 book, or enchant a sword to get the looting 3 enchantment on a sword, and then you'll get all of the benefits of using a looting 3 sword on the piglins without actually having to kill them by your hand. Saw in previous clips that some zombie piglins actually glitched through this little cage that we have going on. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to build a second wall to make sure none of them glitch through. You want to do this on either side. That was my bad for not noticing that earlier, but yes. You could leave it as is, but there's just a little bit of danger and that a zombie piglin could get out and kill you while you're AFK. So you're going to want to make sure you reduce the chances of them glitching through as much as you possibly can. This has to be my favorite farm by far, because not only does it give you a lot of gold, which you can use for beacons, you can use for trading for emeralds, you can use for golden apples, golden carrots, which just happens to be my source of food. But also, you get the emeralds, like I just mentioned. And you can use those to trade with any other villagers. Let's say you have some librarians back at your base or something. You can trade for all the mending books. Or whatever. You could have an armor that sells diamond armor. You buy whatever with the infinite supply of emeralds you have from this farm. Now I'm just showing you that they will get the reduced prices if underneath or near the zombie spawner. Well, that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. This is my first one. Hope it was easy to follow. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys have a good day.